What's going on, Whalers fam? I'm back with a bowling video. Tonight we're bowling on the PBA 37 bat pattern for the first time in this Sports Shot season. With that said, this is going to be probably one of the toughest experiences I've ever seen so far when it comes to bowling in general. So we may struggle at some point in the video, or we may not at all because this is Sports Shot, but this is something that's completely new. So I'm the way I went into this series was I thought that I could be pretty good because it's something different and it's something I've never really seen before. So it could be a lot of fun and we could also learn a few things along the way in this series this evening. There's about 18 teams I believe still in this league at the moment, and every 3 weeks the pattern will change and there will be a position round after every third week. So there's about 4 different patterns we're going to do and bowl on each one about 3 times. So with our first attempt at bat coming up, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. I'm going to send you guys off to the commentary after the first game, and in the meantime, sit back and enjoy some of this music that everybody loves on YouTube. I'll see you after game one. Okay, so as game one comes to a close here, we're doing pretty decent. We found some strikes throughout this first game on the bat pattern, and we're also getting some good breaks where you can see that last pin falls at the last second on a few of these shots. Heading into the ninth frame now to fill this out, we strike again. The left side looked a bit cleaner when it comes to my strike results in comparison to the right side, where the right side we're kind of getting that last pin to fall literally within the dying seconds of the shot in general. But also with Sports Shot, you're going to notice when I miss the pocket completely, you'll see it in my leaves completely, and this is a great example of that. We're just going to go pick this up where the shot's slightly blocked by Doug's head. But anyway, onto the fill ball that you guys can see a lot better. We end up actually getting, just like I mentioned, that last second pinfall. And we ended up finishing this first game with like a 222, which is really, really nice. I wasn't expecting to get a 220 game off the bat, but that's exactly what happened, which that score alone is enough for us to win the first matchup. But this is based on Peterson points, so we're playing to the people to our left. And based on their totals, that'll pretty much dictate how many points we get for the league evening. I am rolling with the Brunswick Quantum Evo this evening in this video, which is a solid bowling ball. And I feel like so far with the recommendation of throwing that, it's actually paid out pretty solidly. Now we just need to just chill out. My average in this league is 157 at the moment, but after 3 weeks, once we establish, that's going to change a lot. However, with that said, our first game was pretty good, but my expectations are going to drop because obviously I'm not going to try to get as lucky as the outcome did in this game, where we were just seeing that last second pinfall to give us the strike. So as the night goes on, transition breaks down faster, and we're just going to have to be able to think. And if we can't think, we're just not going to have good scores in general. So this is a lot harder than a house shot, so we got to treat it that way, and we can't get scared. So with that said, I'm just going to toss it over to game two right now, and I will catch you after game two, and we'll talk more about my gameplay on this league night evening. If you haven't already on this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you like the content so far. We are going to do more content than beside the current league content you're seeing, so be on the lookout for that pretty soon. See you after game two. So, this game is kind of the opposite of the spectrum that we faced in the first game where we kind of got lucky with those breaks. Well, now, just like everybody else that isn't striking, they're forced to pick up spares, and we're playing a spare game at the moment, which that spare game, unfortunately, we're losing just because of where the ball ends up going and where I put the ball on release. Clearly, when it's next to a pin, it's going to respawn pretty quick and overhook. Kind of what you're going to see on this spare shot here, where, yeah, there's some hook here, but it's going to go, yeah, it's just pretty much going to turn. But the bat is a smaller pattern. I did try to bring the Arctic vibe out and try to make sense of it, but uh, we're kind of still on that spare part, and I kind of see where a lot of my struggle was. This part here, simply put, if you watch the whole game back again, we were scared of the right side completely on my spare shot there. We just instantly went from we did get a couple good breaks for strikes in that first game to now that we're picking up those spares, we're getting a little too scared of trying to pick up their right side spare, which is very abnormal for me, but I think it's just the idea that I know it's a shorter pattern and I know the ball is going to react a certain way. So unfortunately, that's why we end up with a 125, which is pretty much minus 100 pins off that first game. But luckily, because of how good that first game was, we're still above the sport shot average of 125 after 2 games. However, as a team, I'm the only one who picked up a point from this one, as we ended up losing this one by a good amount of pins. A lot of these matchups, I feel, we're either going to lose by a lot or win by a lot, but that's just how it plays out. I don't think it'll be terribly close in most of these matchups this summer season, but either way, we're going through it, and we'll be able to adjust it to it next week with some good adjustments made. However, for my first experience on bat, I mean, with the 222, that's kind of pretty much a big dub on the night in general. Not saying that this game is a complete write-off, but I mean, at least we can kind of try to work on some things for game three in this game to try to tune ourselves for the other 2 weeks on this bat pattern. With that said, I'm just going to drop you right into game three. Sit back and enjoy as we finish up this series. Okay, so the way this game plays out is just about the same as game two, unfortunately. Something I did notice looking back in this footage is I feel like I'm just overhooking the ball with my hand a lot, which therefore pushes it sometimes too far left. But if I take the hook out, I'm kind of staying straight. So, some things to look at for the next time we go back up. This is the only shot I didn't use my plastic ball on, but the only reason I did this was just to see what reaction I was gonna get, just to kind of get an idea what's going on. And that time my ball just went up and around the spare. So if I had something like that, I probably would have been better off. This shot here, I probably overhook, and that's why I leave the split to begin with, which I think this is like the third time that I've left the split on the evening. However, this time we end up picking this up, thankfully. And then we're on to a fill ball where at this point, what's done is done. With that said, on the evening, we'll go right to the stats here in a moment. As a team, we didn't really win. We didn't win this matchup, period, and most of the points that we got tonight were from my personal matchup, one-on-one. I ended up winning my first game with that high game of 222. I held on to win game two with the 125, and then the third game I probably lost by like, actually I did lose that one by a lot. but we still managed to pick up the handicap total on matchup because my first game was just super good as a direct result of that. So we end up with a 462 series, which if you divide that up, I think that's right around the 164 average bracket. So we're still over the 157 average, but it's like damn near close to that. Where if we just put up like 160s the rest of the way, we would have been looking really good. But it's only week one of Sport Shot, and we're figuring it out. So I think we can go into week two looking a bit better than we did in this video. So I'm looking forward to getting back at it. And I'm also going to record content on this pattern that I will upload at a later date. I can't talk again. But anyhow, I do thank you guys for watching this video and checking it out. If you like my league video content, feel free to like and subscribe for more because we're going to have plenty of this Sport Shot League for the next 12 weeks. And feel free to check out our shorts on the page as well. And our first solo video, which will be on this pattern after this league next week, will hopefully be out within the next few days if I can make it quick enough. But it's going to be a fun one, and I feel like it's also a good experiment because with making content right now, I feel like we're actually going to be able to experiment a little bit and just kind of see how the quality of the video will turn out um, should this work out. So with that, thank you for your support on this video. Feel free to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton as we get closer to 700 subscribers here on YouTube. I'll catch you in my next YouTube video, and I hope to see you there very, very soon. Take care, Willers fam.